All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Brothers Abba Yahweh coming back at you with another cold cut through the spirit. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Right, double honors to the men out there on the highways and byways, pushing the truth and honesty and sincerity. The Aquath as well, holding it down, especially in these last days. Hey, even the Aquath that are watching as well, single or married, right, with children, shalom, shalom. And the mighty children out there keeping the commandments, abiding in their parents' households, right, keeping the commandments wherever they're at in this world, right, striving to be the hopeful one, elect or 1/3, shalom, shalom, right. This is going to be a very, very quick cold cut on break right now, right, but going into it was never about you. When the Lord gives you chastisements, when the Lord gives you certain types of afflictions, it's not about you, man. It's not about, how you feel. It's not about, why is the Lord doing this to you? First of all, these chastisements and these afflictions, if you look at it on a deeper level, these things were already from of old. The Lord already declared the end from the beginning. Let me get that in Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 10. These things were designed from old. Now you're just living out the prophecy that the Lord set up for you in your life, man. You over here murmuring, complaining. That was already supposed to be. That's one, right? This Isaiah 46 and verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and the ancient things. It's like, and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. Like the tribulations and the things that were made for you to grow as a person in this truth, that was for the Lord's pleasure. That was set up from old. That was designed from old. That's the first thing. The second thing, 90% of the tribulations you go through is not for you. It's for Israel. It's for your people. It's for so you can teach your brothers and your sisters experience. But first, you have to learn through experience. You have to learn how to deal with trials and tribulations so you can teach another person. Let me go to Sirach chapter 33 and verse 17. Stop personalizing, your chastisements just because you think the Lord just don't like you. The Lord's giving you this for a reason. One, he wants to see you grow. Two, he wants to see other individuals in his truth grow as well. And he uses vessels like ourselves in his truth to get that done. This is Sirach 33 and 17. Consider that I labored not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning. Laboring is just not flipping through the precepts and trying to memorize as many precepts as you can, as much history and breakdown as you can. Laboring goes into fighting as well. When you war, you're laboring. When you war, just look at any war, right? You got blood, right? You got them work. Hey, you may have to go to war in the winter, right? You got to take commands, right? You got to know how to do certain things to save your brother out of a war. You got to know how to probably not eat for a certain amount of hours. You got to sleep outside and abide in tents, as it says in 2 Samuel, all right, the 11th chapter, where you ride a Hittite, right? He said Joab and the rest of Israel abide in tents. You got to know how to do that. Be away from your family. You got mental. So war is work. So when you're fighting demons and you're going through trials and tribulations and you fall sometimes, you may lose this battle, but then you win the next 3, then you may fall the next 2 battles and you feel like you can't get it right. And next thing you know, Satan comes over here and attacks your financial problems. And next thing you know, somebody passed away in your family and you're just fighting demons. That's not just for you. That's for all of them that seek learning. That's for those that may not even fought a demon before. They may not even know they had demons that they were fighting. They come into this truth. Now they look at you for wisdom and experience, and you have to go through these things first to be able to declare that to somebody. Let me go to Romans 15 and 4. It's the book of Romans. Damn, time flying. This is Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. So the things that our forefathers went through aforetime was written for our learning. They didn't just go through those things just so they can be part of the elect. They went through those things so the elect during these times, they can read and they can learn how to deal with the tribulations the Lord has set up for them in this time, right? And it says that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, right? What if Job's afflictions and tribulations wasn't documented? Just sit there and think about that. What if Job 19 didn't exist? If you don't know what I'm talking about, read Job the 19th chapter. What if King David didn't write, didn't scribe out Psalms, the 88th chapter? You don't know what I'm talking about, look at it. Right? Those are men that went through afflictions, and those things are documented because they felt how we feel, man, when they fight in trials and tribulations. What if that wasn't documented? What if that wasn't there to help you out, to comfort you? Right? What if the faith of Abraham wasn't put on display in the book of Genesis? What if it wasn't there? What if the labor that Paul did, even after all the circumstances that the Lord threw at him, even had the messenger of Satan against him? That's 2 Corinthians 11, right? Even that didn't stop him from doing the work of the Lord. Even after his past life of killing, the apostles, man. What if that wasn't documented? This truth would be that much harder, man, to bear. So we have to read these accounts and understand that these things were written for us. They didn't go through these things just for them. Let's go to Job chapter 34, right? So stop murmuring, stop complaining. Understand that what the Lord has you going through, that's not just for you. That's for others as well. You have to bear the burdens of your people. This is Job chapter 34 and verse number 36. My desire is that Job may be tried unto the end because of his answers for wicked men. So Job was tried literally to the end for his answers for wicked men. What answers do wicked men give? Excuses. I'm going through this because of A, B, and C, right? I'm not built for this. The Lord has given me too much that I can handle, right? I can't handle these type of trials and tribulations, right? What did I do wrong? That why question, what did I do wrong? Why this, why that? Wherefore this, Lord? So Job's answers was documented through these trials and tribulations to show that you may have these same questions too, but you got to see what Job did on how he dealt with it. That's going to provide an example of how we should deal with it. That's going to show us what we should do. And Job found favor in the Lord's eyes. But it's written that what? My desire is that Job may be tried unto the end because of his answers for wicked men. Meaning there is no excuse. There's no excuse that you can pull that Job already didn't say, that our forefathers already didn't give to the Most High. I mean, that's what it's there for. I'm going to Isaiah 20:1. Think about it. The life of the prophets, man. You're not going through half of what they went through, and they went through that for their whole nation. And let's say Isaiah didn't do this. Let's go to Isaiah 20:1. Isaiah chapter 20 and verse 1. In the year that Tartan came unto Ashdod, when Sargon the king of Assyria sent him and fought against Ashdod and took it, at the same time spake the Lord by Isaiah the son of Amos, saying, let's see what he told Isaiah to do. Go and loose the sackcloth from off thy loins and put off thy shoe from thy foot. And he did so, walking naked and barefoot. The Lord told him to walk naked and barefoot, man. The Lord told him to do that. Well, Isaiah said, I can't really get down with that. Nah, Lord, I'm a prophet. Why would you tell me to do that? But let's see what Isaiah did. And let's see why. And the Lord said, like as my servant have walked naked and barefoot 3 years for a sign and a wonder upon Egypt and upon Ethiopia, so shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptians prisoners and the Ethiopians captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. And they shall be afraid and ashamed of Ethiopia, their expectation, of Egypt, their glory. So the Lord did that to show how the Ethiopians and the Egyptians was going to be led away naked by Sargon II, king of Assyria, to show Israel, stop depending on these nations because they can't save you. What if he didn't do that? What if he said no? The Lord had somebody else do it, and Isaiah would have got destroyed, man, for disobeying the words of the Lord. So that was for Israel. Let's get another one. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel 24. Let's see if you could have done what the Lord asked Ezekiel to do. And this was Ezekiel's burden. Just like you have your burdens, just like you have your temptations, just like you have the things that you go through for your people, you have to do the same thing. And let's see what Ezekiel had to go through. It's Ezekiel chapter 24 and verse 21. And it says, verse 20, then I answered them, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, speak unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will profane my sanctuary, the excellency of your strength and the desire of your eyes, and that which your soul pitieth, and your sons and your daughters whom you have led shall fall by the sword. Right? So let me actually jump up to verse number 16. Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire in thine eyes with a stroke, yet neither shalt thou mourn nor weep, neither shall thy tears run down. So the Lord said, I'm going to take away your wife with the stroke, and you can't cry about it. You don't cry about it. But what? Verse 17, forbear to cry, make no mourning for the dead, bind the tire of thine head upon thee, and put on thy shoes upon thy feet, and cover not thy lips, and eat not the bread of men. So Ezekiel, his wife died, and he had to get up and prophesy to the people. Verse 18, so I spake unto the people in the morning, and at even my wife died, and I did in the morning as I was commanded. So when you read verse 21, that was a prophecy, and that was a sign of what Israel was going to go through. Ezekiel had to go through it first as a sign for his people. That was for Israel. That's a heavy thing, the Lord telling you, guess what? I'm going to kill your wife, and you can't cry about it. Get up again the next morning and go out and street teach that Sabbath day like nothing ever happened. So that's a sign for your people. I mean, what would you do in that situation other than obey the words of the Lord? So when you're going through your trials and your tribulations, it's not about you. It's not about what you're going through. Stop personalizing it, man. It's about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and his people. Hey, I used to do door-to-door sales, and they used to even tell you, like, you know, when you get a negative reaction from a potential customer or client, it's not about you. You got to know how to overcome that and get what you need to get, you know. So when you're training somebody, you can train that same type of mindset. You can train that same type of ability to rub that no or that rejection off and not cry about it and not personalize it. Right? So that's the same thing. When the Lord gives you temptations and trials and demons you got to overcome, one, the Lord thinks you're strong enough to bear it. Two, it's not really for you. It's for somebody else to learn those, how to be built up the same way. But you first must go through those things. All right? Let me get another one. Actually, let me get one more. All right? It's a very quick cold cut, right? But this is kind of exhort you to understand, hey, man, stop, because what that leads to, that emotion, it leads to you saying forth things out of your lips that ought not to be said. You start to murmur, start to question why, and then more demons come in your mind, right? We gotta stop that at the door. It's Matthew chapter 10 and verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. So if you don't bear these burdens that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua gives you, you're not worthy of the Lord. All right? But with that, I like to give all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Very quick cold cut through the spirit of just, it's not about you, right? Lord willing, you stay in the spirit, stay studied, right? And bear these burdens. With that, I say shalom.